Hey guys, got another knife for you today. Right now I'm going to be looking at the Strider SA. This is the special MonkeyEdge 3V edition. I actually just got this in today and I haven't used it, so this is just going to pretty much be my impressions of it. And I'm just going to run over some of the specs real quick. I know you can go look them up on your own, but why not tell you them right here? So, as I said, this is the MonkeyEdge edition or exclusive version of the Strider SA, which is, a very popular small fixed blade from Strider. And so what's special about this is that it's got MonkeyEdge's exclusive Frag grips. This one has the green G10, and it has a black coated oxide CPM 3V blade. On the reverse side here you have the MonkeyEdge logo. So overall, I mean, my initial impressions of this thing is that it's extremely solid. This thing is a beast. It's really thick blade stock. I believe it is 0.19, so it's actually a little bit thinner, I believe, than the just regular SA, your tiger stripe versions and S30V. But that's because the 3V is such a more robust steel that it's not really necessary to have a thicker stock. And while I'm talking about the CPM 3V, I'm not an expert on it, but on the MonkeyEdge site you can see they've got a little write-up on it. Basically, it's got the same type of edge retention as CPM or S30V. So it's gonna retain an edge just about as long as a S30V blade would, but where the CPM 3V really shines is in toughness. This is an extremely tough steel, one of the toughest steels out there, definitely one of the toughest for blade steels. It's tougher than S30V by a factor of 3, they say. It has a lower chromium content, so it's not as stain resistant as S30V. So be aware of the fact that you're going to have to lubricate this blade a little bit more than you would have to its S30V counterpart. But you have that black oxide blade, so I imagine that might help a little bit. I'm not sure, it might be a pretty porous coating. But regardless, I mean, just after you go out and beat on it or get it wet or moist, you just wipe it down with some Rem oil or something. Just take care of it in that way. But other than that, this thing is going to last you a lifetime. It's just extremely well built. This is the SA version, which just has this standard clip point or drop point style blade here. This isn't the version I initially wanted, but this is the one that they happened to get in stock first. I wanted the DB version, which is the same thing except it just has the Tanto style blade. And I believe the DB is probably a little bit tougher because the thickness of the blade extends. It's thicker towards the tip because of that reinforced Tanto point. But this thing's gonna be just absolutely awesome. You could probably use this for all kinds of prying and stuff. It does have a really thick blade, really thick reinforced tip here. You have Strider's partial grind here. It's not a full grind, so that will also add to the toughness of the blade because it's got a thicker stock throughout the length of the blade. In the hand, it's really comfortable. You know, it's got some really nice deep cut jimping that just catches your thumb really nicely, and it's a nice long track of jimping, which I like. It's probably about 1.5 inches of nice, well-spaced jimping. You got this really large, I'd say overly large choil, but you know, you can, that's really useful because you get a really nice grip with that. And then most importantly, you have this incredibly grippy frag pattern grip that MonkeyEdge gives you. It is really, really grippy. In fact, it's almost uncomfortably grippy because I was carrying this earlier on my belt, and just the pattern of this grip rubbing against my skin on my side was absolutely uncomfortable. So if you're gonna do that, you're just gonna have to deal with it, or maybe wear a undershirt between this and your skin. And also in these cutouts for the holes, where it kind of cuts into the square pattern, you have some extremely sharp G10 edges. So like for me, when I'm holding it like this, my pinky kind of gets into this hole a little bit and catches on those edges, so that's a little bit uncomfortable, but you just have to learn to not hold it in that way. But that's not really a big deal at all. Yeah, so overall, I really like this knife. Let me just give you a couple of specs real quick. It's pretty small fixed blade. Overall, it's only 7¼ inches with a blade length of 3¼ inches. So it's a rather small blade. I'll give you a quick comparison here next to a SNG. You can see just how small the SA is. The cutting edge on the SA is only 2¾ inches. So again, it's pretty small cutting surface. Probably fairly similar to the SNG actually. Actually, they're probably pretty much identical. They just have a little bit different sweep to them. The weight is 5.8 ounces without a sheath. So it is pretty hefty, but I mean, it's a fixed blade. It's not supposed to be air weight. This is going to be a knife that, you know, is going to be a beater, and it's going to be capable of doing anything. So you don't want to have it, you know, feeling like a, you know, piece of paper. It needs to have some heft. You can do some chopping, or, you know, whatever you desire to do with this thing, and it'll be able to do it. And it's nice to have that toughness, that tough feeling, quality. So yeah, it's 5.8 ounces. So it does feel pretty heavy in the hand, because of its size and how small it is. It does feel overly heavy, but that's because of this immense blade stock. Just really thick stuff. As I said, it's a 3V, which is awesome steel. I haven't really used it yet, but it's well touted. Got the black oxide. It comes with a really nice Kydex sheath, which I really like. Fits extremely snug. There's absolutely not a drop of movement between the blade and the sheath. Really easy to get it out. It comes out real nice. It's got nice retention, but not overly tight. And it comes with this really nice tech lock, which is a really nice option for quick MOLLE compatibility. The only thing I don't like about the tech lock is it requires a MOLLE spacing that is thicker than 95% of the MOLLE attachments on my Maxpedition Falcon 2. Most of the MOLLE attachments are only about this thick or this wide with a seam down the middle. So this will not work with it because it needs a seamless loop that's this wide. So I only have actually 2 spots on my backpack, and they're both in the front where I can attach this. I was hoping to attach it onto the side, but with this tech lock, you can't, because there's a seam that's running down the center, which is, you know, makes it incompatible with the tech lock. But that's not really a big deal. So anyways, that's my initial impressions on this knife. Don't really have anything much else to say because of, you know, the fact that I just got it. So you know, other than my initial impressions of and how it looks and what I think of it right now, there it is next to the Hest. I think it's awesome. I think it's going to be an awesome knife. Let's just compare the blade stock here. Fairly similar to the Hest actually, in thickness. But anyways, that's all. Thanks for watching, and please like the video and subscribe to my channels for some more videos. Thanks.